You hear that noise? That's never good. When you have a noise like that under your hood, a lot of people will think that you may need an engine, and it's going to be extremely expensive to repair, or it's going to total the vehicle. Well, that's not the case here. This is actually pretty easy, something you can fix yourself. When you're looking for a noise under the hood, you want to determine roughly where it's coming from. If it's around the valve cover area or towards the back of the engine, even underneath near the oil pan, it's probably something internal to the engine. In our vehicle, we have the noise coming from the front of the engine, which is a good thing. So it could be one of the components on the front driven by the belt. Could be the water pump, could be the alternator, maybe even the power steering pump. Any of those components, and that's going to be cheaper in the long run than an engine. Now we're going to take the belt off, and then we can check out the pulleys individually. It's a good idea to take the picture of the belt before you even do this. Then you have a good idea of how to put it back together. Belt's off. Get that out of the way. Take a look at the water pump. That's not supposed to do that. That's extremely loose. And you can hear it when I spin it. That's not something you want to ignore. Eventually, you're going to end up with a coolant leak. When the coolant level is low, you're not going to have any heat inside the cab. But on top of that, even worse would be the engine overheating. If the engine overheats for too long, you are going to end up needing an engine. So definitely don't let this go. You want to fix it right. We're going to get our part from 1AAuto.com and get it shipped to you fast and free. There we go. Pull that off. I'm just going to pry this out. Just rock it back and forth. With the pump out, we can see it's the same as the new one that's going to be going in. And you can see how much, if I just hold on the pulley where the pulley would be, that's how much play is in there. That's a good amount of play. Obviously the new one's tight. There's no play there. But even just listening to the bearing like this, that's not good. And the new one does not do that. Nice and quiet. So with this bearing being like that, it's going to heat up. You're going to end up burning the seal, and then it's going to leak. You're going to end up seeing a leak coming out there, or even there's a hole up top here. And also when bearing gets bad enough, the fins on the inside are going to start rubbing up against the wall, and then those will break, and then you're not going to have any circulation. That's going to cause your engine to overheat. And again, you can ruin your engine. You don't want to mess around with this. When you have that noise, replace the pump, get a new one. After the vehicle's all back together, you want to top off the coolant with the correct 50-50 mix. You can use a funnel, or there's even special tools where you can put a vacuum on the engine, and that'll help eliminate any air pockets. If you're still having trouble with air pockets, a good thing to think about is where the filler cap is. You want that to be the highest point. So you could even raise the vehicle up so that that cap is up higher, and then running the engine, that'll help you get any of those air pockets out. Even just holding the accelerator down, holding the RPMs up to around 1,500, 2,000 RPMs for a minute or two to help get the coolant circulating through the engine. So now let's start it up. No more engine noise. So if you have engine noise, definitely don't ignore it. It may be something as simple as a water pump.